Hi everyone, I'm GREYMOND. Today we're answering questions that you left under my videos about OCD recovery. The first question is, my problem is my automatic thoughts. I want to refuse to react, but sometimes I react unconsciously. Before I get to expose myself to the trigger, I tend to not react at all and ignore it. But then after exposure, I find myself arguing and absorbed by OCD. Any help with that? I think maybe what you're doing everything right, but I think, and it's really good that you're actually on purpose doing exposures. That's what it takes to recover. I think the problem may be that you are, that you're maybe taking on too much. So try to do smaller exposures and work up to these bigger ones, because I think that it's right now it's just a little bit too much for you, and it just might be not something you can handle. I would say start small and build up to what you're doing right now. It could be also, if it's possible, to break up the exposure into smaller bits. So if you're exposing yourself to something that's, obviously right now is too challenging, is there kind of something that you could do that's the same but smaller, just a part of it, Next question is, I'm sort of worried about relapse with the summer coming soon and not having school to occupy my mind. What should I do in the summer to not go into relapse? Try not to power it up with fear, because you're kind of already powering it up. Try not to analyze this whole situation of what will happen in the summer. Relapse, that won't happen automatically. It's still up to you if you let these thoughts in. Most likely the thoughts will come in more. Try as much as possible to live your life as you're living now. So in the summer, there's other things you're going to be doing. As much as possible, focus on those. But at the same time, don't try to run away from the OCD thoughts. Like, I need to occupy my mind every second of the day, otherwise I'll get OCD. Try to more come face to face with the OCD fear and say, you know what? Bring it on all day long, I don't care. Really coming from that position of power would help. Don't allow yourself to come from a position of fear. What is your advice on what to do when you slip and perform a compulsion? Should I just let it go and try to do better next time, or immediately do an ERP exercise on purpose to make up for the compulsion I have just performed? Honestly, if you do ERP right after, that would be really, really good, and that would really speed up your recovery. But at the very least, you should let it go. Don't start kind of having like negative self-talk about what about the compulsion already done. Just try to do it better if you can. That would be really good. Or at least just choose to let it go, but also learning from the experience and actually trying to do better next time. Not just saying it, but actually, okay, I know. And also keeping in mind that this situation triggers you. So when you put yourself in this situation in the future, preparing for the anxiety to come in, and then when it does, choosing to react correctly. Next question is about harm OCD. What can you do when you feel the thought is so strong and it makes you feel like you're gonna do what it says, like stabbing someone? It makes the body shaky, like you're gonna do it. Or it says do it and you'll feel better. What can I do? You just have to view it as noise. Again, physical symptoms, physical sensations, thoughts, images, all of it is common in OCD, so you just have to view it as outside noise. This has nothing to do with you. It's happening around you. It has nothing to do with you. And it's it's just OCD. I can tell you that, I've been doing this for, 8, 9 years, something like somewhere between 8 and 9 years, probably 9 years now. And I can tell you that not one person has actually done anything. Do you know what I mean? That they were afraid of doing. So that OCD doesn't work like that. OCD attaches to what is the worst possible scenario for you. The worst thing for you is this. So you're the furthest person from a person who would do this. Do you know what I mean? Because this is the thing that you're scared of the most. Bad people are not scared of doing things. That is the problem with them. That's why they put them in jail, because they don't know what else to do with them. Because they don't have that filter. But your filter is set to like 1,000,000, right? So that's the difference. Not to give you reassurance, but you have to see a little bit of perspective as well. Next question is, I struggle with HOCD. Not, oh, okay. So this is from last week. I wasn't sure if the person was, because they said HOCD, and I wasn't sure if they meant harm OCD or homophobic OCD. I struggle with HOCD, not harm thoughts, and they really bother me. The most are the ones that have to do with the past. I feel like I have had this in a mild form for a while, once before, and I've talked to my mom about the thoughts, and after we talked it through, she told me it was silly and I just ignored the thoughts. So you ignored the thoughts, again, you did reassurance, but after that you ignored the thoughts and the thoughts eventually went away. Now you're analyzing and it's getting stronger. You have to choose not to buy into it anymore. Is it possible that this is what's happening, or could it be more of a false memory type of thing? The memories feel very, very real. Okay, this is the, I'm just skipping parts here, but I am reading it. Yeah, I mean, OCD always feels very, very real. You have to just look at it as, okay, it feels real for me and everybody who has OCD. If it didn't feel real for you, you wouldn't have OCD in the first place. Nobody would have OCD because everybody would say, oh, that doesn't feel real, that doesn't make sense. Because that's what other people around the person who has OCD say, right? To them, their judgment is not clouded with fear, with feelings, right? So they see it how it really is, and they're like, this is silly, you have to choose to move on. But at the same time, you know, it's, as long as you take it seriously, it's going to continue to keep going, you know? So it's, you have to get back on the road to recovery. It feels real, doesn't matter. Anything to do with this, you're disregarding and you're pushing through. Next question is, I've been getting through my self-harm, suicide OCD a lot better now. I was noticing that I would not start to worry about my overall health. Oh, I would now start worry about my overall health and worry about it. So your theme is switching from one type of OCD to another. Yeah, could my OCD be switching to worrying about my health now? Yes, that's exactly what it's doing. You have to treat this situation with the health the same as you treated harm OCD, not getting into it, not researching online, not Googling, not trying to figure it out, not doing any of that. Also, the person says, like feeling dizzy or being too tired. That's most likely a symptom of OCD. So you can feel dizzy from all of the reassurance that you're doing, feeling too tired, and you know, so it's again not researching, not analyzing, leaving it, choosing to move on. What is the difference between? Oh, okay. And the next question is, what is the difference between what you do on your program and what you do here? The difference is that it's personal versus public. So here, I'm just answering one question, if it's the same person writing once a week. With one-on-one program, I'm answering their questions daily through text. The big part why I think the recovery program works so well is there's text communication between me and the client on daily basis, or as much as the client is, you know, needs, right? And because of that, I know where they are in recovery. I know if they're on the right track or not. We can move up the session as needed, a little bit sooner, or if they're saying they feel fine, maybe a little bit later. So it's a very customized approach, and I think that that's really what the doctors are lacking, and the reason why they're not seeing much improvement, because I find that to take a person who has 10 out of 10 OCD and to get them to the point of recovery, it actually takes a lot of work and a lot of close like monitoring to make sure that the person is doing the right thing. Because when you have 10 out of 10 OCD, there's just such a pull to do reassurance, to do checking, and to try to do compulsions as well, you know, and it's we need to make sure that the person every day is doing the right thing, and the doctors just simply don't do that, and I think that that's why their numbers are low in terms of success rate. This is the end of the video for today. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe if you'd like to start the recovery program. The information is available on youhaveocd.com. Thank you. I'll see you in the next video.